Good morning and welcome back to our science class. So, today let's quickly recapitulate lesson number 8, body movements. We have already studied why movement is important in our lives and how movement makes all work possible for us. We have also done the difference between movement and locomotion. There is movement taking place inside our body all the time, even when we are sleeping or simply sitting and reading a newspaper or a book. So, we know the difference between movement and locomotion. It is because of the limbs that locomotion is possible. Now, how we are able to move? It is because of the joints. So, you know where two bones meet, that meeting point is called as joints, right? So it is the joints that actually allow the movement. We have also studied that there are different types of joints, and these different types of joints have different functions to perform, or we can say they allow different types of movements. Then we have also discussed the various types of joints present in our body. The ball and socket joint, hinge joint, pivotal joint. These joints are also known as movable joints or synovial joints. Other than that, we also have joints which do not allow any movement. For example, the joints in your skull, they are the fixed joints. So let us quickly see the position or the location of these joints in our body. You can see the fixed joint that is in our skull. Then you can see the ball and the socket joint present in our shoulders and hip. Then you can see the hinge joint that is present in your elbow and knees, and the joint present in your neck that is known as the pivot joint or the pivotal joint. So it is the fixed joints that are actually not allowing movement, but they are very, very important. They are playing an important role. These fixed joints are actually behaving like a helmet, and they are protecting your delicate brain. So, a skull is actually made up of 22 bones, and these 22 bones are joined to one another, and hence they form a fixed joint. Now let us see how two bones are actually joined. You can see that there are two bones, and these two bones are not touching each other. There is something between these two bones. There is a synovial fluid and cartilage. This synovial fluid and cartilage prevents the bones from rubbing against each other, thereby helping in smooth movement. That is, they are actually giving lubrication. Right? Now, what is cartilage? Cartilage is actually a soft bone. It is not very hard like a bone, but it does the work of protection. We have cartilage in our ears, in our nose, isn't it? And even in our vertebral column. The 33 vertebrae that we have, they also have cartilage, which provides the function of protection. All right. Now, apart from this cartilage, now let us discuss what exactly this cartilage and bone makes up. It is the skeleton. The skeleton is actually made up of bones and cartilage. Our skeleton is actually providing protection. It is helping in movement, isn't it? So, our skeletal system is very important part of our body. Apart from the skeletal system, it is the muscular system, the muscles which help in movement. We have already done that muscles are soft tissues, and they have the ability to contract and relax, and it is this property that helps in movement. We have already discussed how we are able to move our arm. You know, we have two types of muscles in our arm, biceps and the triceps. So the contraction and the relaxation of these biceps and triceps help in moving our arm. Similarly, we move our leg. So the muscles always work in pair. One will relax, the other will contract. So what exactly are the muscles doing? The muscles are always applying a force of pull. They are pulling the bones, and that is why movement is possible. And how are these muscles attached to our bones? It is through tendons. It is the tendons that are actually connecting the muscles to the bones. So now let's discuss about the skeleton again. So skeleton is basically two types, endoskeleton and exoskeleton. Endoskeleton, the skeleton that is found inside the body, and exoskeleton, that is the skeleton that is found in invertebrates, that is outside. You can see it. So here you can see the endoskeleton organisms: fish, bird, frog, human beings, crocodile, that is the reptiles. All these have endoskeleton. It is a rigid skeleton which provides protection. Apart from endoskeleton, the invertebrates like the insects, the worms, they have exoskeleton. Their body have a covering that is called as the exoskeleton. So you can see in the picture the various type of organisms with exoskeleton. But what about animals which do not have bones? Then what type of skeleton do they have? Like the earthworm, the starfish. So their body has actually a fluid inside it. So we can also call it hydroskeleton, or we can call it as incompressible skeleton. Now, how do animals move? We know how human beings move with the use of limbs. But what about other animals? Other animals also have different ways of movement. How they are moving? For that we use a term gait. Now let us discuss a few animals like earthworm, snail, cockroach, fish, snake and birds. How do these organisms actually move? So let's discuss earthworm. You all have seen an earthworm. An earthworm has a cylindrical body. It is made up of rings, and it is the contraction and relaxation of muscles that help an earthworm to move. Alright, now, and what type of skeleton it has? It has incompressible skeleton. Now let us see the snail. You know, this is the slowest moving animal. It has only one foot, and it releases a fluid on which it moves, and it has an exoskeleton. You can see the shell on its body. Then the birds. The birds, they flap their wings. It is because of the flapping of the wings and the hollow bones and the strong muscles which enable the birds to fly. They also have legs which help in perching. Perching means sitting. Now let's talk about cockroach. You can see the cockroach has an exoskeleton. Alright, and it has 3 pair of legs and 2 wings. Also, it has very strong breast muscles and leg muscles which help in moving. Now let's see how a snake moves. You can see that a snake always form loops. So it is the loops that help a snake in moving forward. A snake cannot move in a straight direction. It always moves in loops, which helps in moving. Now let's discuss about the fish. The fish form curves. It moves the front part of its body on one side and the tail in the opposite side, which helps it in movement. Thank you.